Christoph, thanks for coming on. There has been intense focus on supermarkets recently, the cost of living. What other sectors are seeing really competitive price wars that may be keeping prices down in those sectors? Do you know?
Thanks, Kenny, for having me. I think apart from supermarkets and groceries, you definitely see in the online space a lot of price competition. But even in the B2B space, where it's more negotiated prices, it's getting harder and harder to increase prices or get your prices defended. Because for the better half of this year and most of last year, a lot of companies try to use cost increases as a reason for price increases, and that's slowly running out of steam.
You hear about restaurants closing because their expenses increase, but they can only charge so much for coffee and smashed avo before no one goes there anymore. How does a business successfully balance rising inflation and staying competitive?
Yeah, I think the biggest challenge is to have a price management which is really differentiated based on customers and products. What we've seen, especially last year and early this year, was very blunt increases because it was possible. But some companies lost a bit the muscle memory of how to do price management correctly. If you don't know beforehand what's the customer reaction, then of course your customers turn away. So the way to go is to really identify what is the price sensitivity of different segments, different products, and then have a differentiated approach. Some products probably have to reduce prices, and in others you increase, and then you cross-subsidize within your portfolio. But if you don't know it beforehand, the reaction might be harsher than expected.
Yeah, so when we say with this new research that 83% of businesses successfully passed on price increases to customers to keep up with inflation, what we're really talking about there is that the majority of businesses did okay in doing these price hikes without losing customers. Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah. In the end, the customers didn't have too much choice because the whole market increased. If you look at the grocery space you mentioned, it was not only the local suppliers, but also the multinationals who normally see Australia as a margin paradise. Their head offices expected that the margins are stable as well. And then the multinationals increased their prices locally as well. And then the consumers are the ones who have to bear it. So I wouldn't say they didn't scare customers away, but it was not really a choice because everywhere prices increased. What you can say that anyone who's a bit in the middle market is probably squeezed because people go to lower cost alternatives. And some luxury players, they of course suffer from the lack of discretionary spend, which we see at the moment.
Following on from what you said just then, would a good strategy for a business be significantly undercut as much as they can their competitors at the moment, because that is exactly what customers are seeking at the moment?
Yes, but in the end, what keeps your business going is the profitability. And if you undercut your competitors, you might have a short-term market share gain. The likelihood that some other competitors react and you drive the whole market down is quite high. And then everybody is in the same boat, which is slowly sinking.
Are we seeing changes in pricing trends? What are current pricing trends telling you at the moment?
I think the biggest trend is probably to look not only at price levels. A lot of companies look at what is their price model. If you look at internet companies, they might go away from a price per user per month to usage-based or others. So how you charge is sometimes more important than how much you charge, because then you're also less comparable. A lot of the price pressure comes from the price transparency which we've got, especially with the rise of online sales after COVID. Everybody knows prices now, the competitors as well as your customers. But if you change the game a bit and you go to subscription, there are subscription companies who do socks on subscription or washing detergent on subscription. That's something which is not as comparable as if you say it's $9.99 versus $7.99.
Yeah. Christoph Petzoldt, really appreciate your thoughts today. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Thank you. Appreciate it.